Adding new goals involves two steps. First, recommendations from all your caregivers are displayed. To specify a new personal goal, you should associate it to one or more of your doctor's recommendations. This will remind you why you specified your goal in the future. In the second step, you'll write your goal title and describe your goal, and then describe a reward to achieve it. Goals are challenging, and rewards will help motivate you. Often, your doctor's recommendations are too general, such as do some sports or reduce weight. To react to those recommendations, you should define smaller, achievable personal goals, such as walk 2,000 steps per week. In another step, you will create and plan activities to achieve every personal goal. Adding a new activity involves a few steps. In the first step, all your personal goals are listed. The color coding indicates the planning status of the current week. For example, green, activities are linked to this goal in the current week. Red means no activities are linked to this goal. For planning a new activity, you should associate this activity to one or more of your personal goals. In the next step, you should describe your activity in more detail, first by selecting an activity category, and if a new pull-down menu appears, select what kind of activity it is. You will see a new pull-down menu for vital signs, nutrition, and physical activities. Next, you add a title for the activity, and if you like, a more detailed description. Next, you should plan your activity. Activities are created by clicking on the calendar day and time slot. Assign the relevant weekdays and specify the start and end time. This is useful for recurring activities. To plan recurring activities over a long time period, specify the end date in the separate field. You can also specify reminders by clicking on the button Reminder. Reminders are sent to your inbox and email. Now press the Save button to save the planned activity. It can be updated anytime. After saving your activity, now you should review your weekly plan in this final step. Here you are shown an overview of your currently planned activities for the current week, and also a list of your goals without activities in the current week. You can continue to add more activities if you like to your action plan. More activities were added. Planned activities are also shown in the agenda view. The agenda view is useful for printing planned activities. To record your body weight, some data is required, such as your weight, height, your state of dress, and when you recorded your weight. You can also preset your body height in the user settings. Your BMI, or body mass index, can then be calculated based on your weight. Optionally, you can add your mood and stress level or add a comment. Consent Editor. The data managed within the Empower system is treated as private and not viewable to anyone by default. The Consent Editor allows the patient to control the visibility of his or her data to any medical care provider. Consent can be given for any category of information, such as the recommendations for self-management from care providers, the journals that the patient keeps, medication change journals, for example, and also your imported electronic healthcare records. Access is granted by the patient to a care provider by explicitly selecting that person's name or by selecting a role, such as doctor. If the role doctor is selected, then all medical care providers of that particular role may access the patient's data.